Good evening, class, week 9. I congratulate you guys for making it this far. As we wrap things up, just a couple of important announcements. Obviously, you guys are adept at navigating your way around the website, so all this isn't completely necessary, but you should have received an email in the last hour with an IDEA link for the IDEA forms. Those are important for the university as they do evaluations for the course and for the instructor, that being myself. So I think those are due Saturday night. If you could please fill those out. Those are really important moving forward. Also, the videos. I got 4 of them. Your stretching videos. I still need them from a few of you guys, and I understand it was difficult to paste that in there to get the to embed the video. So if you want to cut and paste or send the link with me, Gary did it by email. That's fine. That'll work. I'll take them. What else? As far as the forums last week and prior, even the week before that with food and nutrition, it's been again just a delight to read all of your posts. Your dialogue has been outstanding, I think. In this past week, as we looked at more specifically eating disorders, David, you spoke of how the gymnastics and cheer athletes, the females, tend to have more pressure on that, perhaps maybe where their bodies are more on exhibit. You also talked about the benefits of journaling and a program called High Schools That Work, which was all really good, very valuable contributions to the discussion. Thank you. And Gary, you I noticed you're stretching in a pretty tight space there, but it's impressive to see all that you've been able to do in spite of all of your traveling and competing, being in Hong Kong and Texas. I don't know how you're getting it all done, but keep it up. You got 1 week left. And also your post on forgiveness meditation and meditation intervention with the link to the journal article, peer-reviewed article, was really good. It was a great article. To read, obviously academic, research, quantitative in nature, and obviously forgiveness meditation is an interesting thing to think about. I know for many people, I think that is something that opens the door to all sorts of positives in a relationship. And as Christians, that's sort of where the relationship with God begins. Begins with understanding forgiveness, forgiveness of sin through Christ and his mediatorial work, living, dying, and rising. But without forgiveness, or holding on to bitterness and resentment, or fear of maybe being judged, these things really prevent people from opening up and addressing or making improvements. So anyhow, it's not surprising to me that people that there are studies on that, and that there's research showing that by having a non-judgmental attitude towards self, people are able to get more accomplished. Casey, let's see, Sheehan. I always get your first name and last name mixed up. You mentioned the mortality rate and how females of ages 15 to 24, it's 12 times greater, which is obviously pretty alarming. As a father of a young girl who's 7, I would be very concerned, for any girl, as a high school teacher as well. And just to think about how many people don't even admit it or seek help, it is quite alarming, and it says a lot about the pressures that young women face and feel. I think we as educators need to be aware of those and address them. Chad, you've had a lot of great posts. You mentioned the wrestling weigh-in. You also mentioned the emotional eating and how journaling has helped many people with those things, helping handle some of their binge behavior. And also in the prior week, I didn't get to comment on it, but you're growing your own food. And I think that is an outstanding thing. We're trying to do more of that here in Ventura. We have some great weather and some good soil. A bit of a drought, but we are in our home also seeking to grow. What's been amazing to me is just to see something like a tomato until about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd never really had a homegrown organic tomato. And I was amazed how sweet it was, how good it tasted. And where for my whole life, essentially, we've been eating very large, very tasteless tomatoes that we would find in supermarkets. So if you guys haven't tried one yet, I'd strongly recommend it. It will, it may just change the way you eat forever. Another movie I'd recommend that's well, pretty good based on the China study was Forks Over Knives. Worth a look on food and health. Maybe not so much for performance, but for long-term health and wellness. Another course that I've taught here is Be Specific. And made some very positive differences in my life and in my family's. So I'd recommend that to you guys. Michael, another part of the baseball crew. Another guy stretching in a tight space there. It looks like a dorm room or something. He had some stats on binge eating, and they were pretty incredible. Just the amount of food and calories that people can consume on a binge, and also that 14% of gay men were reported as having bulimia, some eating disorder. Perhaps because they're more comfortable reporting it, we don't know. But thank you for sharing that. And then Matt, you mentioned how undertreated these things are, how underreported they are, how people are secretive about their disorders, and that another very interesting statistic I did not know, thank you, is 50 to 75% of these calories are absorbed, even if they seek to purge. And then Carlos, you have some stats on anorexia, and also some really good comments just on how you would be there for your athletes. I believe that was in the next reflection piece. Seeking to emulate your faith, that God's always there for us, and you hope to always be there for your athletes, and to demonstrate that. And I jump ahead into this week. You talked about leadership on the spot, and how it's something you think you might take from this course, is something you would use on a daily basis. I think it really is. It's it's a course that we cover a lot of material here. You can go really deep. Sometimes they say things are a mile wide and an inch deep. This course is kind of a mile wide and a mile deep. You could really probably spend an entire course in each of the 9-week sessions that we've had. So we're going to be wrapping it up with our culminating project, and see if I can review just a few of those things. Go back to our list. Yeah, and so that's due this week. Due on the end of this week, Sunday. So in this culminating project, you will be submitting your year-round strength conditioning program for your sports team, your athletic team, a 9 to 15-week unit plan for a physical education class, or specific fitness goal for you or your clients. So whether you're a coach, a PE teacher, or a trainer, you'll have something there that you can take and use, and you will. Also, your project will include the following: calendar of the event, objectives for each season, preseason, in-season, off-season, the cycles, the mesocycles, and macrocycles. Percentage of energy systems required, the ATP, PC, and aerobic, the phosphagen system, stretching requirements, cardio requirements, strength and flexibility exercises, nutrition. And so it sounds like a lot, but you guys have been working on this stuff all throughout the term. So look at it kind of like a final portfolio, and something that you will definitely use. I know that I, as a coach, when I completed this program about 10 years ago, I've held on to much of my material and revised and updated a lot, but it is wonderful to have these things as resources for you as you go forward in your various endeavors. So anyway, long video, approaching 10 minutes here. I apologize for taking a lot of your time, but I want to thank you guys for your participation in this class. I hope you found it worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed our final and 9th week. Please email me if you have any more questions, comments, or if you just want to chat, let me know. We'll meet you on a Google Hangout. Okay? Thank you very much.